Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and today we are going to be talking about some of the issues within the K-pop industry. Now, as many of you may know if you follow me on other platforms, or if you have the observational skills of a 5-year-old, you would know that I am a big K-pop stan. I have many posters of Asian women in my room who are not me. I value and cherish my little parasocial relationships I have with dozens and dozens of women who I know and love dearly, when not a single one of them has any idea as to who I am. But just because I am a fan of something, or because you are a fan of something, it doesn't mean that we should just be blind to the issues within that industry. The first thing I want to talk about is the dating bans and the control over idols' love lives, right, that we see in this industry, and the, for lack of a better term, crazy fans and their toxic behaviors that contribute to this phenomena. Now, many fans see idols through the lens of like a romantic fantasy, right? I mean, we see that with lots of different celebrities, Western or Eastern, but it is especially prevalent in the K-pop industry. And idols are kind of marketed as these like dream boys or dream girls, right? That are inaccessible, but still real people. So at the end of the day, there is still the slightest crumb of accessibility there for delusional fans to hold on to, right? And I am talking about the smallest crumb of accessibility. The crumb is so small that an ant would walk by it disinterested. With that being said, many fans would genuinely feel like upset and betrayed if they found out that their favorite idol was dating somebody. There are literal dating bans and restrictions and dating scandals as if dating is some like taboo, forbidden thing. Romantic love for a lot of people can be just a natural part of life, right? And people should be able to experience that without being ridiculed. And look, we all get a little delusional sometimes, okay? Sometimes I see Rose from Blackpink post something on Instagram, and my first thought is, oh dear God, please just give me one chance. But I am also a sane person, so if one of my favorite idols gets into a relationship, my innate reaction isn't going to be, you traitor. Because let's be real, okay? BFFR. None of these idols actually know who we are. We are not gonna marry them, we are not even gonna date them, let alone, most of us are not even going to be within a 10-foot radius of these people. Generally speaking, we do not have a chance, which, yes, that does pain me to say because I would love to marry Yoohyun of Dreamcatcher, but I just know that that's not really in the cards for me. But at the end of the day, in any industry, but especially the K-pop industry, fans are getting in the way of idols' love lives when they don't even know who we are, and they do not owe it to us to stay single for the rest of their lives and die a lonely spinster because they like to sing and dance on a stage. 사랑해요. 나도 사랑해요. 네. 좋아요. I don't really speak Korean, so if anyone has any objections to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. 안 돼! 제발 하지 마! You speak Korean? What? No, not really. Why does no one speak Korean at this Korean wedding? I object! Strongly! Jesus, alright, I'm gonna let y'all sort this out. I'm sorry. Do I know you? You don't remember me? I was at your show 3 years ago in Atlanta, Section G, row 300 and seat 12. I was the person who pretended to faint in the concert venue so that I could try and get backstage, but then they ended up just sending me to the hospital. So they sent me in an ambulance and I ended up fighting the EMT so that I could get back into the concert. And I ran back into the venue, ripping my IV out, actively bleeding and sobbing. Well, thank you for your support. That means a lot. But my wife and I... You know what? I paid $1,000 for your limited edition photo card while my mother was dying in the hospital! Okay? And when she asked me, honey, why did you spend your entire work bonus on a 4x6 photo of a random Asian man instead of spending it on my medical bills? I said, first of all, it is because I am a K-pop stan first and daughter second. What the fuck? Well, I appreciate that. Because I am that dedicated of a fan who is putting food on your table, and this is how you repay me? By getting married to your new uggo woman? Excuse me? You can't speak to my wife like that. You go with that word again. Wife. You should only be using that word when referring to me. Listen, I am in love, okay? I have a beautiful, healthy relationship. If you truly supported me, then why can't you just be happy for me? Because
Literally, I am mentally unwell.
Another issue I want to talk about is the cultural appropriation that happens in the industry. I would say that there is a higher percentage of big K-pop groups that have done cultural appropriation than haven't. So, it's not great. Now, people bring up the fact that Korea and East Asia in general, they are very homogenous societies, right? When you go to Korea, there's mainly Korean people there. When you go to China, there's mainly Chinese people there, etc., etc. And so the idea of cultural appropriation is just not as, widespread over there, which is true. And you could maybe argue that for a group's mistake that was several years ago, right? But at this point, let's be for real, okay? With the number of cultural appropriation offenses and the amount of times that fans have had to say something, it's like you should know by now. Wear a blackface once, shame on me. Do it twice, shame on me again? I don't know. K-pop has been growing and growing, and it is a global phenomena, okay? It is not just for native East Asians. It's for, there's a Black audience, there's a Desi audience, there's a Native American audience, etc., etc. Also, East Asia is obsessed with having fair skin, okay? It's like, if you're a shade darker than oat milk, you might as well just get the fuck out. So to condemn dark skin, but then implement Black aesthetics, Desi aesthetics, Native American aesthetics, etc., into your videos, you should be able to see how that might be upsetting to people. And sometimes, cultural appropriation versus appreciation is such a thin line, and everybody is gonna have a different opinion. Some people from that demographic are gonna say, that's appropriation and that's inappropriate. Other people are gonna say, well, I don't agree with that, and I think it's actually acceptable. But overall, I think that these K-pop companies need to, take training or something like that on cultural appropriation so that they can gain a better understanding of it, and so that they can get a sense of what should be unacceptable versus acceptable, because some of these things are just flat out wrong. Last week was the third cultural appropriation scandal we've had just within the past year. I feel like 3 isn't that many.
We want 0.
I mean, she's just saying that numerically 3 really isn't that high.
Okay, well, would you rather get stabbed 3 times or 0 times? Exactly. Now both of you shut up and listen to me! From here on out, I am making you to educate yourselves on cultural sensitivity, okay? Now, would this be something that is appropriate for our East Asian idols to wear?
Absolutely. I personally would slap that on him right away and push him right on stage.
Do either of you even know what this is?
A good stylistic choice?
No!
An excellent stylistic choice.
No!
The last thing I want to talk about is the pressure for idols to be perfect and the over-scrutiny, especially when it comes to physical appearance. One of the biggest requirements of being an idol is to be physically perfect. Like, if you thought you had to be hot to work at Hollister, no, babe. Okay? The K-pop industry is like working at Hollister on steroids that are strong enough to turn me into the Hulk. And that has to be a strong steroid because when I am, bench pressing or whatever, I can only lift the bar. And when I was first getting into K-pop, I was like, how is this humanly possible? Y'all are bringing out baddie after baddie after baddie. I mean, I am baddie befuddled right now. I am baddie baffled, bewildered. And then I came to realize, that in Korea, plastic surgery is very, very common. And obviously, they don't even consider, these trainees to come into the company if they don't, foresee them becoming a baddie in the future. And I think a lot of new K-pop fans feel like that. Like, how is everyone so beautiful? And then you come to the realization that in Korea, plastic surgery is very common. I think Korea is like the plastic surgery capital of the world, actually. But anyways, lots of these idols have to get plastic surgery in order to debut. And it's not only your face, your body has to be perfect too. And these idols go through tremendous lengths to look the way that they do. To give you guys an example of the extreme lengths that these idols have to go through in order to, meet the idol standard, Momo from Twice was on a V-Live and she was talking about how she needed to lose 15 pounds in a week or she wouldn't debut. 15 pounds in a week, that's insane. That should be I don't know if that's possible. For a week straight, she didn't eat anything except for 1 ice cube and she worked out all day, every single day for a week. This is a quote from Momo. She said, "I didn't eat anything the whole week and went to the gym all the time. I spat all the time so there was no water in my body, and when I laid down on the bed and tried to sleep, I was scared that I wouldn't wake up again, so I suddenly started crying." Like, that is insane. And you know what the sad thing is that I know that there are probably so many idols who have gone through experiences like that. In the K-pop industry, being beautiful is just as important, if not more important, than the singing and dancing aspect. And you know, a lot of idols are told you need to change your physical appearance if you want to debut, and that is really, really sad, but unfortunately a very prevalent part of the industry. Now, before your debut in our next girl group, we are gonna have to ask you to make a few improvements. Oh, okay. What is it, my singing? No. My dancing? No. I mean, you've trained for 8 years, so I'm not concerned from a talent perspective. Oh. Well then, what are you worried about? So, you know, there are just 2 little things that have been some causes for concern. Okay. So, it's just your entire face and body are causes for concern. Yeah. Ugh. So the company sent me, you know, a small list of things that we'll just have to complete so that you can debut in the next few months. Okay. So we did get you scheduled for a very small, subtle facial reconstruction surgery. They're just gonna give you the works, okay? You know, fix your nose bridge, slap on some double eyelids, bring up your cheekbones, shave off some of that mandible, okay? Give you that nice V-shaped face, you know. Oh, sorry, it's a lesbian thing. None of that, right? You can do it for the fans, but not in real life, okay? Yeah, okay, with all this surgery, am I still gonna be able to use my photo ID? Hopefully not. But anyways, we are gonna have to remove some of your ribs in order to make your waist smaller, but don't worry, your ribs will not be going to waste because we are going to give them away in a fan raffle, which they have to pay hundreds of dollars to even enter. Anyways, because of all of your hard work and dedication to the company, we wanted to give you this specialty dinner on behalf of the agency. An almond. And don't forget about dessert. This is just a piece of paper that says do 50 sit-ups. Yes, usually the paper says 300 sit-ups, so consider this my little treat, right? Anyways, you know, once we get all of those little things out of the way, you'll be all set to debut, okay? The little thing being my entire physical appearance. Right, you know, well, the goal is for it to stay a little thing, right? Skinny queens only in this industry. Fatties be gone. Delete it, fat. Wait, where are you going? Yeah, I'm gonna become a doctor like my parents wanted. So that is all I have for you guys today. Just remember that in any industry, right, whether it be Hollywood, K-pop, American fashion industry, you know, whatever, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, right? So there's going to be issues within any type of media that we enjoy, but it doesn't mean that we should just ignore it. Also, I know that there are a lot of K-pop stans in my audience, and I don't want y'all to get mad at me, okay? I am one of you, peace and love, okay? Peace and sarang, right? But, you know, I'm sure you guys are aware of these issues just as much as I am. So don't get me wrong with this video, y'all, okay? I'm not trying to like cancel K-pop or anything like that, all right? K-pop is literally one of the pillars for my mental health. If I weren't able to watch my little From It's 9 Funny Moments compilations every night before bed, I would be a shell of a woman, okay? But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Maybe listen to some cutesy K-pop and pump some serotonin into that noggin of yours, right? Okay. Yeah. Love you guys. Until next time. 제발 하지 마! 안 돼, 제발! 안 돼, 제발! 제발. G row 300 in seat 12. You know, I paid $1,000 for your limited edition. Why did you spend your work bonus on a photo? You know what? A separate savings account for me to buy all of your shit.
Because I am such a dedicated fan. I am out here in the trenches, okay? I am your wife. I am the one that is dedicated to you. I am the one who has loved you and dedicated. Did she buy your toenail clippings on the Korean black market? I'm waiting because there was a sale and you just missed it, okay?